he looked upset.
Here's how things are looking in the table with that much-needed win for Liverpool, their first win in 4. As for West Ham, they are down in 17th after that. Not the result that they would have hoped for today. As for Liverpool, they're in the top half of the table, not where they would have expected to be by this point. But however, it is 3 points for them, and 3 points they really did desperately need.
Well, at least he doesn't have to talk about another Liverpool defeat.
No, he does not. He does not. Tell me about today, Stevie.
Today was the perfect game for Liverpool, away from home, against West Ham. You know, West Ham side that, in terms of going forward, it's Jared Bourne and nothing else. And so it was the perfect game for Liverpool. I mean, the fact that Alisson didn't have any saves to make, the fact that it's a clean sheet. I mean, every stat you want to listen to was there. That if you look at it on paper from a defensive point of view, it was fantastic. Never let no chances, no drama. That one little ricochet that went for Bourne at the end. But other than that, Liverpool really were in control of this game. And it was a case of when can they score? And for Isak to score, particularly the way he did, Craig said class, absolute class. 125 million, is it, worth of class? And then Gagpo makes it 2-0. So it's really a good result, all the things you want, but the real truth is they ain't playing West Ham every week.
No, but
you don't know if it was a good defensive display.
Yeah, you can't
or
tell.
It was just West Ham. But
you can't tell.
Whatever it is, it's a clean sheet. And we heard in the commentary, if you listened to the commentary, they'd lost so many goals, it was scary. But I think he made all the right decisions today. He brought Gomez in because he's a defender, big defender, he wants to defend. Szoboszlai played on the right-hand side instead of Salah, because as Stevie said many times, you can drop Salah, but you don't have a like-for-like replacement.
Is that a big story, Salah being dropped?
Well,
no. Was anybody surprised?
No. I mean, it's a story that it is Salah, but nobody's going to go... No, there's nobody batting an eyelid going, hey, Mo Salah was dropped today, because the Liverpool fans probably wanted him dropped. Because he's offered nothing, and when you're playing a guy who's not a wide player in his position, as Szoboszlai did, that tells you all you need to know. And what happened was Szoboszlai was eking in midfield a little bit because he's not a wide player, but they didn't have an Alexander-Arnold or anything to get forward. It was Joe Gomez, so they lost a little bit in that side, but they gained a bit more solidity in there. And I thought, particularly in the first half, Florian Wirtz, he looked quite sharp, actually. There were some nice, lovely little touches and 1-2s, and he got in behind. The problem was, once he got in behind, there was nothing really for him to play the ball into. So all in all, I thought it was considering Liverpool's predicament,
it's a start.
Considering people are actually talking about Arne Slot's job and how long will he last and who's going to take over and all this sort of stuff, it's a win's a win. But again, it was West Ham, and they're a pretty woeful side, particularly going forward. And the Paqueta thing, he should hang his head in shame, because, by the way, that referee gave him enough time to step away once he'd booked him. Because he came back in the referee's face 2 or 3 times after the booking, and the referee wasn't going to do anything. Then he came back a 3rd time, and the ref was like, you've had your warnings, you're going. And if you're Nuno Espirito Santo, you must go into the dressing room, and you just want to tear his head off for being such an idiot.
What's your assessment today from Liverpool, Frank?
Well, even if Isak scored a goal for 1 hour, it was appalling for me. And if I am Ekitike, my fellow compatriot, I must be very upset, because when he came on, we saw the difference. His involvement, his technique, what he does for the team, and the chances that he can create. I would be very upset, because, you know, okay, my price tag is less than Isak, but my performances are better. So Isak scored, yeah, good. That saves his performance, but that wasn't enough. And it was funny to see him being very surprised to be substituted, where you know, that was only fair to Ekitike. Otherwise, yeah, I was happy to see Gomez going back. I saw the defense were better, but again, it's against West Ham, so you don't really know. And I agree with Craig. I think Fabian Wirtz is getting there. I'm pretty sure he's going to bring something. That guy has so much talent. You can see every time he touches the ball, there is something special is going to happen. And one day he's going to know how to play the Liverpool music, and he's going to be very, very, very good. And again, about Paqueta, I'm very sorry, but Paqueta, I think it's like he's saying to the referee, give me the red card. Give me. You already gave me yellow card. Show me if you have the guts to give me the red card. That guy, I'm sorry, he has so much talent. He's a great player. But he likes to argue with opponents, referees, and he goes too far. And the club should, or the Hammers fans should tell him something. Shut up, play, just show your talent. That was crazy. He killed the infinite chances maybe to Hammers to come back in that game. He killed them.
For Florian Wirtz, was it his best display in a Liverpool shirt?
We'll set a really low bar here, let's be honest. The fact that we're actually pulling out things to say nice things about Wirtz tells you that we want him to do well. And yes, today he got in positions where he was just a little bit off from being great. You know, he should have scored, but he didn't. But we'll praise him for getting there and being part of the build-up. He's part of the build-up for the goal. He had another couple of little good passes and touches. But the fact that we're sitting here going, well, he was better today, that tells you how poor he's been and what his contribution's been. But it's the same as the result, it's the same as the performance, it's a start for Wirtz. And in terms of the Joe Gomez situation, the only reason Joe Gomez hasn't started before is because he's been injured. He hasn't been fit enough. Because Conor Bradley can't stay fit, Frimpong can't stay fit. Frimpong's a hybrid anyway. He's not really a fullback, he's not really a winger. So Joe Gomez would have been the obvious candidate to sit in at right back, but he hasn't been able to. But today, he was solid, but again, one game.
It's a good job he's got your mate in the team, Szoboszlai.
It is.
He's played right back, he'll play anywhere in the middle of the park, he's played a little wider on the right today, because he could have put Wirtz out there, but he's gone, he's like, well, you go and do a job for me there, and I want to get Florian Wirtz in that more central role. So, players like him are worth their weight in gold. He's the captain of Hungary and all that sort of stuff, and, he works hard, and he's a good passer, he's a good all-round player. But you need people like that the problem is, what does he do going forward? In the next few games, Slot, does he stick with that? Or is Mo Salah knocking on his door? Because you've got a guy who's not played well, you've benched him, but do you continue to bench him? Because you're not, as Stevie said, playing West Ham every week and you're paying him a king's ransom. So what?
He has to.
He has to what? Leave him on the bench?
Aye, yeah, he has to.
Are they better off without him right now?
Absolutely. Look,
he's offering nothing.
Last week, I said it. You need to start from the back. You need the base to be right. You need to be solid. And you need to stop giving goals away. And you can't expect to score 3 and 4 goals every week to win a game. And so if he goes back and breaks that shape up, at least defensively, they were solid. Because it's always like, OK, he wasn't standing way out wide the way Mo does and just stands there and waits for the ball. He's getting involved, he's getting back inside, he's helping his full-back. So the whole shape defensively was miles better. And they're not going to get any better if they just all of a sudden go back to what they were doing and then teams start streaming through them again. You've got to look after the base, the solid structure that they had today. Yes, it's against West Ham, but it was a solid structure. There was no real drama. There was no running all over the place. There was no holes. So that's where you got to go from. So if he changes it and brings Mo Salah back against Sunderland, to me, that's a big
But
mistake.
Stevie, had Bowen scored the goal the last minute, it would have been another story. 10 against 11 against West Ham. You draw.
It would have been
and
an
it would have been
injustice,
another
Frank.
crisis.
Yeah, it would have been an injustice. I mean,
Of course,
100% deserve to win the game, and sometimes it goes way, sometimes it goes against you, but
it shows you how things change in football so quickly. Because last year we saw Van Dijk was another one with the contract situation, but Mo Salah was the kind of real big story, and it was like, you have to give him the money. You've got to sign him. You can't let him go to Saudi Arabia. You've got to give him this money. You've got to back up the truck, fill his truck up. You've got to give him the money because he's so important. Sure. And then we're not even at Christmas and he's out the side. Yep. I mean, that's just how quickly things can change for a manager and for a player.
So, comeback win from Manchester United, and they take all 3 points away from Crystal Palace. Your thoughts on that, Craig?
Yeah, they were better in the second half, and 2 bad goals to lose from a Palace perspective. I mean, there's just no way, Xerxes should be scoring from there. It's as simple as that. I mean, we could put the gloves on and save that. I mean, he's almost in the goal line. And then the referee blew the whistle and Henderson wasn't in position. He was still trying to mess about with the wall. He was unhappy, and then the referee blows the whistle. They shift it, the wall breaks up, and he gets beaten. So I think it's a big response from United after the debacle against Everton, and it was. But I think there's a long way to go, isn't it? It's a bit like Liverpool. Gone to West Ham, dug out a result. United have gone to a better team in Palace, and they've ground out a result. I was going to say scored a couple of good goals, but they weren't good from a Palace perspective. Again, Amorim seems to be one of those managers, to me, a bit like Ten Hag was towards the end, or maybe not even towards the end, that he was just getting enough results to keep him afloat, to keep the wolves from the door. It certainly is at the moment, and I would put that one in a category like this. The other bonus for them was Martinez came back, Lisandro Martinez, after the long absence with the cruciate. Ironically, it happened at Palace, or against Palace, so he came back on in the second half, so that was, I don't know if you call it a bonus for them or not, the way he sort of goes around sometimes. But yeah, from Ruben Amorim's perspective, he had to get a result, and they got what they needed.
It's a big win for them there, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a big win, and you know, sometimes when things go for you, you just grab a hold of them and take them. It's not Man United's fault that they've scored a couple of goals that 100% could have and should have been avoided from the Crystal Palace point of view. At the same time, the game could have been done at half-time. We showed Nketiah taking goodness knows how long with that opportunity. Paqueta had a one-on-one as well, put wide, that he should have scored. It could have been 3 at half-time. The game could have been done, but on the credit side, United came back. And then by the end of the game, actually, we're the better side. So, you know, when things go for you, you take them gladly. Because you see what happened to them against Everton at Old Trafford, went against them. So, yeah, credit to them. Stuck at it and got 3 points.
Quite the bounce back, Frank, who's back with us.
Yeah. That's a good 3 points for Manchester United, and Crystal Palace have been the devil of many teams that they played against this season. Liverpool can witness that, Chelsea as well. It's always hard to play against Crystal Palace, and Stevie said, you know, halftime it could have been 3-0. So I wouldn't say Manchester United were lucky. I think Crystal Palace were clumsy. And even the first penalty, I don't like to make fun of one of my compatriots, you know, I prefer to make fun of English people, but today I have to talk about Paqueta, because really, how can you, kicking your right foot, if you don't slip, touch your left foot? You have to put your left foot on the wrong position, that's for sure, or having 2 big feet. I don't know, that's very strange. I was laughing at it. I think it's for me, I don't know, shot maybe 50 penalties. It's impossible to do what Paqueta did, that's for sure. Good for him, he scored the second one. Good for him, they changed the rule last summer, so that's a good thing for him. But that was
It's impossible to do. It's impossible to do what Paqueta did. They changed the law for because Julian Alvarez did it.
I thought he was going to sing the hokey cokey there.
And by the way, he's definitely got big feet. I would imagine a guy who's about 6'5" isn't a size 4 shoe.
No, absolutely not. Well, there you go. 3 points for Manchester United. And